Alright guys, here we are. The old bathhouse that's been sitting for multiple years now. Still standing. Let's open the door. I got a little secret. There's a couple things stored in here that were in the way. There we go. It's a two-hander. There we go. Alright guys, so here's the bathhouse. Shower over here. Sink for brushing teeth. There's still some supplies stored in here. There's a Mr. Cool. They sent us an extra one. So this is just sitting here waiting to be dealt with. But check this out. Check this out. Good old Renogy Wanderer and a car battery back there. Let's see if things still work. Oh. So I think that's a 50 or a 100 watt. I think that's a 100 watt solar panel, like an old one I bought for a few bucks. I think I paid 50 bucks for it back in the day. So this little system's been sitting here. One solar panel, one charge controller, and one 12-volt car battery. Not even a, not even a solar battery. It's just a deep cycle battery for like a boat, probably from Meijer or Walmart. 12-volt deep cycle battery. It's been sitting here charging. Doesn't get much use, so I think there's still a pump. I think there's still a pump in here. Pump still runs. Lights still work. So that's been sitting there for 5-6 years now, just working, or ready to work if it needs to. So I don't know what we're gonna do with the old bathhouse. No idea. So, but we have this tank. Used to, this little 3/8 line just runs over to that side of it, and it's just been sitting here for 3 or 4 years doing nothing. Let's see what it looks like inside. Doesn't look too bad. That dark color is just from the black outside. Not too bad. This needs to be cleaned off, but alright guys, so people buy these IBC totes brand new at like Tractor Supply stores, and they're like 300 bucks. I think they might even be more than that. Maybe like 4 or 5. Brand new, never used, food grade. These I always bought from a guy. I think I paid 90 bucks for all of these, and I have a lot of them now. I've probably 12 or 15 of them on the property. So you gotta figure there's, let's just say 1,500 bucks worth of tanks. They becoming really useful. There's one back here. That's a 330. I could use that one, but we saved that one for if we're going to the river. And we might need to go to the river someday again. We thought we were going to have to go again this year, but we got bailed out with a few days of rain, so that's good. But this one's the least used. Let's get it on the trailer and get it up to the cabin so we can put it on the mini cabin. So guys, this one actually is not going to be the best tank because it doesn't have the traditional or the most common fittings on it. Oh, mosquitoes found me. This just has national pipe thread on it. It doesn't even have the fittings to crimp on like we traditionally do. So we'll probably just close the valve on this one and suck water out of the top with like a submersible pump, because this one's going to be down and underneath the cabin anyway. Oh, we'll see. See what we do. But I used to use, before I always did plumbing stuff because of my hot tub gig. But I never used like house plumbing. I always tried to use leftover hot tub stuff that I had. And we always use vinyl tubing. we weren't drinking this water before filtering it through like the Berkey. We're just using it for showers and dishes. Like before, when we used to fill up the camper, we go get a couple of we fill these halfway on this little trailer. Most of the time we put it in the back of our truck and fill it about halfway, because that's about what the truck could handle in weight. 1,500 pounds of payload. I'd always push it a little bit, do 2,000 to 2,500 pounds worth of payload. Get it back here, transfer it. We'd try to have one full tank at all times. Then we would transfer it over to the camper. But that was back in the day. People always ask why we never set up. People used to ask why we never set up rain catchment here. Well, we're in the woods, so it's extremely dirty water from the trees, and there wasn't much surface area. And we didn't have a lot to collect off of this shed either. We had a lot of guttering systems for very little gain. Here's a 12 by 16 shed. This roof, man, look at this. This shed's been here a while now. Look at the moss growing on this. I know that's not good, but I don't know what to do. Spray it with something? Is there something I could spray that with? I don't want to power wash asphalt. You gotta be able to spray it with something, yes? Tell me, guys, what should I spray that with? Will it make it last longer, or is it okay to be mossy like that? These tanks were a good investment. I mean, imagine if you had to pay $400 for one, from the store. You'd have a lot of money invested. You'd have $5,000 invested in tanks, and I have $1,500 rather than $5,000. I smear a bunch of dirt on my face. But anyway, pick up these pickle jars or pickle barrels. It's always good to have some extra water catchment stuff around. So anyway, let's get back up to the cabin and get this thing installed. Sorry I always get sidetracked. Just always want to talk about what we've done here for people who've come in late. It's all relevant. Someone will learn something from it. So sorry if you guys have been here for 5, 6, 7 years and you're hearing me talk about the same stuff over and over again. But anyway, let's get up to there and hook this up. Good investment. $100 per tank. $1,500 rather than $5,000 to $6,000. So that's where I was going with that. We're going to get a new tank to bury in the ground up at the cabin, but we're trying to find a good deal on one. Try to work with a couple companies if we can and save a few bucks. We'll see how that works. But let's get this strapped down and get out of here. Huh. That wasn't supposed to happen. I can't believe it made it up the hill. Good thing it made it up the hill. What the heck? Glad I didn't fall off when going down the hill, or up the hill. That would have been bad.
One of your 18.
I didn't have a long enough strap. I don't know where you moved all my orange ones. This one wasn't long enough. So
I did not move them. You told me not to move them, so I didn't.
I don't know. Let me see. Is there an orange one sitting over here? I don't know where all my orange ones are at. I only have one strap in there. Where'd they all go?
I don't know.
All I had is that green one. It's too short to go over. That's why it fell off.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Sounds like you hid all my straps on me.
I did not.
Where are they at?
I don't know.
I had 10 of them in here, so why is there only one now?
I have no idea. You probably moved them.
I did not move them. What'd you do with them?
I did not touch anything.
Where'd they all go?
I have no idea.
Maybe
they're in the
5 straps in there because I need different lengths.
Maybe you have them in the side-by-side because you were doing wood.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Jenny hid all my straps on me and she thinks she's cute.
I did not hide your straps. I gotta go finish a few things inside. Stop being a crybaby.
Alright, I'm gonna spray this off.
Take accountability.
It's her fault. Alright, let's get this. Might as well spray the inside of it out too, I guess, while we're doing it. Guys, you know, there are certain pitfalls to being up on the hill exposed like this to the world. But one really good advantage to being up here is things dry out and we're not under trees all the time. So things don't get as dirty. Look at this thing. This thing's been in the woods for 5 years, but it is disgusting. If you build a cabin in the woods underneath trees, 1, you're not going to have any solar. 2, all your stuff is going to get destroyed. Like, stuff is just going to be dirty all the time. People who do like we did down at camp and then they stay there, you need to open things up and get the trees away from your cabin. Even though you want to have that feeling you're in the woods, it really does wreak havoc on your stuff. If this cabin, our cabin, was in the woods, I've already seen it with this little cabin that's underneath the trees. The deck is like getting dirty and just gets beat up. If this cabin, our main cabin, was down at camp in the woods, it'd probably be half rotted away by now. But it's okay because we're up here in the sun and the wind and the trees are a little bit away from it, so it gets dried out. My poplar siding would probably be half rotted and only last 10 years if we were down in the woods. People use the poplar siding for barns for a long time, and you know what? Barns are out in the open, so that's kind of my concept with this cabin. Look how dirty this thing is. Alright guys, we gotta get this down the hill and around over here and down to where we can put it, like somewhere right here. Right here preferably. Although this is a little flatter. I don't know if it will fit there. But there's our downspout from the gutters we installed yesterday. Me, personally, I'd probably just forego this and let this drain into the woods and just let it go. Because I don't think we need it. 10, 11 other tanks filled up right now. And this will be 12. So I don't think we need it. Plus we're going to put a big tank in the ground, so then we will be able to transfer any tanks that are full in the future. So this is kind of redundant in my opinion, and I don't know how we're going to get water from here up, you know, to where we're getting it. Just one more thing to deal with. But, you know, someday we might be like, oh, thank goodness we have this tank of water down here. So alright guys, so I think now that I've looked at this, I don't want to dig away by these posts. So I think I'm going to go grab a couple cinder blocks and put a cinder block there, and maybe half a cinder block here, and put this tank right here. I don't know. I don't really want to look at it. But I can't dig away a foot of dirt right next to my corner of my foundation. I mean, these posts are already only like probably 3 foot into the ground because we kind of, and we try our best, but I don't have enough extensions to get down deeper. And we're in super sandy soil, so we don't really have a lot of the heaving issues that people have because we're on top of the hill and it's sandy. So we don't have frost heave up here like others do. Not that I've experienced. Our cabin, knock on wood, our main cabin, and this, like, everything's just been fine. Especially the big cabin because it's been around longer. But I don't know. Put them off to the side right now.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna need them or where they're gonna go. I want to have them if I need them.
Okay.
All right. Here's the tricky part. Jeez, I'm good. Man, I missed my calling, guys. Maybe I've... yeah, it's a little low on that side.
Huh? What did he say?
Here, bring it. Let me see. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Not the best, but it would help to have a strap. A little trick in my pocket.
What is that?
Actually having the screws we need.
That's a trick?
Yep. But I'm asking you to go get them, right?
It's called being prepared.
It's a trick. It's a good trick.
Being prepared is a good trick.
Yeah. Yeah, see.
There you go.
There we go. Top, I think. There we go. Wham bam.
There we go.
Sock behind you.
Pretty exciting.
Yep.
This one's the same as the other ones, or is this one bigger?
275. I did this one because I thought we were going to try to sneak it underneath the deck,
Yeah.
And the 330 was a little bit taller,
Yeah.
But this worked good. This will be covered in trees, like we'll just let the couple things grow right there. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
There's tanks everywhere. You see tanks everywhere.
Yeah, it's not right at the top, so it's kind of in the back, so you don't really see it.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty.
Oh, you guys are still on.
Yeah. Yeah, dark.
I just caulked the whole gutter system, so it was a lot of me going like this in the gutter and like looking in weird angles and tipping on the ladder and hoping not to fall over into the valley. So that's what you missed, real quick and easy. Maybe if we buy like landscaping stakes or something, just the wood ones, just to like try to have stakes for all our tomatoes and stuff. It's like all these tomatoes are gonna start falling over because they're so big from the eggs.
Look at yours.
All of Jenny's tomato plants are like 2 foot tall and 2 foot round, and then you got mine over here that are about 1.5 feet tall and about 1 foot round. So Jenny's tomatoes are about twice the size of mine.
So does the egg trick work?
Something, because this is the same soil, same everything. I get the same amount of sun, same amount of love and care. So I don't know. Because I thought maybe for a minute they were different tomato plants, because I have Early Girls, Ponderosa Pinks, and Golden Jubilee, and then she's got some Romas, but she's also got Ponderosa Pinks, and they're just as big, or I mean bigger. Yep. And the Early Girls that are in the greenhouse, I think those are Early Girls, the ones that are growing real tall. Some of them are anyway. Those ones are like 4 feet tall already. We'll show you that in a little bit too. So there you go. That system's done over there.
Yep.
So I guess we'll move on to the next project.
Only took us
3 days.
An extra year to get that done, but now it's done.
Now it's done.
So,
and
soffits, everything's good. No more trespassers, no more unwanted guests.
Yeah, only guests in which are invited by Jay and Jen.
All right, guys, today we are going to try to make our auto watering system for the garden a little bit better.
So what we're finding out, and a couple of you guys asked in the videos about the gardening water system, is the soaker hoses don't work real good when they're paired with the little misters or spraying fittings, because it must just not be enough pressure to come out of the soaker pores. The first couple times we did that in the greenhouse, it worked great. Like all the little things she put up on the shelves, or we put up on the shelves, and we put that little micro 1/4 inch soaker hose up there. It worked really good for the first week or two.
Yeah, and now it doesn't work as good.
Yeah, I don't know if the pores get harder or filled with like small particles. What I think and I'm contributing it to is that there's too much water flowing out of the easy flow little spouts.
Yeah.
So there's not enough pressure in the soaker hose to push it out those pores.
Which is okay now because I've got all the flowers established and all the veggies established, so we don't need to worry about those soaker hoses. But this whole garden here behind us still needs water.
Yeah. And it doesn't work good when it's paired with the irrigation system in the greenhouse. So we're gonna take another one of our little pumps and put it on the tank over here
by the compost bin,
and then the whole system's gonna be soaker hose. So there won't be anywhere for it to like have an easier route. And then I'm hoping the soaker hoses work good, because those RV pumps have good pressure. You know, they have a lot of pressure. Yeah. They move a lot of water. But like I said, that worked great the first couple weeks in the greenhouse, and then it just stopped working. So I don't know if the hoses just get, like I said, clogged, the pores, or what. But we're going to try this and see if it works.
Because we want to go camping and stuff and do some adventures and not be at the cabin
every single day.
Yeah, so when you have a garden or a homestead, you have to make sure stuff can still be taken care of when you are not there.
Yep.
That is what today's
objective is.
Yes.
Although we're going to have a lot of micro systems that are going to, have to work independently. We're trying to figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's going to create a lot of work to start them up and to close them and winterize them. But I guess if something fails, then the whole system's not going to go down.
Yeah.
If one system fails or one system breaks, then there's more stuff to break. But then if this breaks, at least the greenhouse doesn't die.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So we're still, we're working out the kinks.
Yeah, this year is going to be a learning experience for auto watering, and maybe we'll change it next year. We'll learn. You guys know we always are learning and adapting here.
And if next year we build one, we get one big pump house and we run lines everywhere and do fountains everywhere, great. But I thought the soaker hose was the best way to do this because... soaker hoses are more efficient. The plant doesn't get wet, just the roots get wet.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Let's try to hook this up today, see if we have all the plumbing parts to do it.
Yep.
So
hopefully we do. We don't want plants dying. They're all doing good. Jason's got an obscene amount of potatoes growing. An obscene. He didn't even plant any.
This is going to show you how many potatoes I missed in the ground last year. Look at this.
So this year we're going to pick them before he... can't pick them and misses them all.
I can't pick them because they're mixed in with all the plants now.
I'll buy some garden
some
stakes
more of those
or
little
some
stakes, and we'll just mark them because once they die, you don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
But look,
so I'll order
1,
some
2,
on Amazon.
3, 4, 5, 6. We have 100 potato plants. Like literally 100. This whole bed filled back up with potatoes, and I didn't plant a single potato this year.
And I planted some squashes in between here, so we've had to pull some of them.
Yeah. Like it's gonna be kind of a mix match mess. But I'm not going to pull up all my potatoes. I mean, this is going to be potatoes we could have this year.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out. I'll order some stakes here on Amazon or Walmart or something.
Yeah, just to mark them. So we could dig them up after everything else is dead.
Mm-hmm. I've even got some bamboo sticks that I got like 100 of them at Walmart.
That might be sufficient if they stay, All right, so I got plumbing stuff. I got this battery, which I don't know what state of charge it's in.
Is that one of our OGs?
The OGs. It should be charged because 12.6, it's fine. So here we go. Here's the thing, and I think I saw it. I think look, there is some wires in here, so that's good. See, I had this all planned out, kind of. But I forgot that I had it planned out.
I know you did. You already mentioned it, and you said we had stuff, so.
Yeah. That's the luxury of working on one project at a time. It's not always something that we have, or has never been anything that we have. I used to have a really good memory. It was because I only had like 3 things to remember. Now I have like 300 things to remember, so my memory's not so hot.
It took him like 10 years to remember my phone number and my birthday. So I don't know.
Nobody remembers phone numbers anymore because it's just in your phone.
And
it's not like we're 12 again and it was like, I don't want to forget Jenny's phone number. I want to call that cute girl and remember her.
What about my birthday?
It's in the springtime. I don't have to worry about forgetting how old you are because you're 10 years younger than me. Exactly.
Good try to save yourself.
Let's get this done. Look at this concoction.
But you have all the parts.
So far. This is all to replace the pressure that you will get naturally from the water pressure in the city or your well pump.
You don't have any water bills, so it's okay.
What if we just had a well? You know how much simpler if we just had a well? Why wouldn't we drill a well up here? Why didn't we think of that?
Because, well, a well truck can't get up here, and a well down at camp's going to cost $20,000, so. I'll just collect rainwater.
It's going to cost us $20,000 worth of extra pumps just to make up for the lack of pressure we have
That is
from a
not.
well pump.
Oh, you're such a fuddy-duddy.
Fuddy-duddy. All right. Ay, fuddy-duddy. You mean practical? You mean practical, smart human being who knows what he's talking about? Is that what you mean by fuddy-duddy?
Stick in the mud.
All right. Jeez. All right, I got my tools. Jenny, you grab that 70-pound AGM battery.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if where's the battery at? Oh, it's right there. I don't even have straps to carry it with. What do you want me to do?
Grab it. Man up.
I'm not a man, though. I'll grab it. I'm just... What else do you need? What else can I get you? Do you need some?
I don't know if I'm doing this. Oh, these aren't long enough. Unless I put this like right here, it's still not going to be long enough, is it? Oh.
Right there would work.
Yeah. Hence my hole.
Do you need screws?
Nope. I got some.
What? You're prepared? You're not going to send me to go pick up 18 things?
You know what I think I figured out just now? The reason we're getting so much done today is because we have a long list and there's an objective. Like, a lot of times it's just like, hey, we're off grid. We want to just enjoy life and get projects done. But today, we need to get like 8 things done. I'm working, here's what I'm doing. I'm working like I'm getting paid by the job, not the hour.
There you go.
That's the difference. See, now this is going to have a big old loop in it. So this is going to be probably hard. Well, water might be fine. I do need that crescent wrench. Do you remember which one the crescent wrench is?
The silver one?
Adjustable one.
The silver one?
Yep. Can you bring me the one with the black handle too?
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be good to have. It's going to make life.
Life is pretty fun already.
It's going to make...
If we just make it fun.
It's going to make so we don't have to water the garden for like an hour.
I like watering the garden, but I also like doing other stuff.
Yeah, like once in a while, but when it's going to be hot, like for a week straight, you don't want to water the garden
every single day.
Every single day for an hour, right? You'd rather be doing some fun stuff?
I'd rather go do something else once in a while.
So,
but I also, we're not here every day, all day, like everyone else in the world. Nobody's at their house 24/7.
Yeah.
So, oops. There we go. Got no fuse on this one. There you go. Did water come into there? No. Right, 'cause there's...
I don't think you had that open either.
Well, it's open now.
Oh yeah, but...
Should be water, like maybe because this is on here and it's not open. It's not like letting it push the air out.
Yeah, maybe.
There we go. Did you hear the air hiss out?
There we go. Ah! Hooray!
All right.
I'm excited. Because then this is going to allow us to go camping and do some adventuring and not have to be stressed about our stuff being watered or rely on other people.
Yeah, or ask neighbor John or anybody to come
Yeah, like when we go to Maryland in a month here, we don't have to worry about our plants getting watered because we'll have this nice little system all set up.
Yep.
Give us a peace of mind. And if it doesn't, we can always ask someone to come check on it, but at least it's...
Yeah, I would rather ask people to come check on things than to
do everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just go check, make sure all Jen's flowers aren't dying, or
yeah,
you know, any of that stuff too. So there we go, guys. Look, now we just gotta go get the hose. So there you go, guys. Water system set up. Now all we gotta do is get the hose from the greenhouse and drag it over here. Let's just double check it one more time. Turned off. There you go.
Make life a little easier here, so it's not all work, work, work.
Yeah. This is open flow, 3.5 gallons an hour. No, per minute. Per minute. I thought I saw GPH. Per minute. It's 3 amps. Self-priming, runs dry without damage, thermal overload, automatic restart. So, anyway. Alright, let's go grab that hose and attach it over here.
It sounds good.
Not to talk about everything. Just talk about everything's gotten like 5 times the size because it has.
Look at this, guys. Look at how tall these are.
You're almost as tall as Jenny now.
Yeah. From the bed, not
Yeah.
actually as tall as me.
Well, they're as tall as you. They're only about a foot off the ground or so.
This one's pretty tall.
That one's taller than you. Pretty cool, huh?
My zinnias are going nuts. Hopefully we get some flower heads on those soon. We get flowers down here, cosmos and sunflowers. And the same thing here. And then some herbs and cucumbers.
You already showed them all this. Just show them how big it is. They don't need to talk about it all over again. You're hitting all your plants. You're knocking off all the tomatoes.
They're all...
So guys, look at the cucumbers are doing good. I put up this trellis, I think, since the last video. I don't think we had this trellis in here. I stole it from the beds over by the barn.
Yep.
And now cucumbers are going to trellis up this. Jenny moved the some other cucumbers up by the cabin where we used to have them a couple years ago, and those are doing good. We removed this window behind the trellis. That'll let some bees in.
Yes, because everyone was asking that. We got
about pollination.
We got so many comments about that. How are you going to let the bees in? How's everything going to get pollinated? So they come in from this one up here, and they can come in from here. And there've already been some bees in here.
Yeah, there's a wasp right there right now. And we leave the door open all day, but we close it at night just so the raccoons don't get in here.
Yeah.
But this should be enough right here, I would think. And that window up there for, the bees to find it.
To pollinate. Plus,
it's going to be 90 next week. So if it gets too hot in here, because I don't have my fan hooked up yet, maybe we'll hook that up early next week. Good airflow in here. Just pull a couple windows out. There's 6 screws in each window, so just pull them out. So there's your mini garden or greenhouse update.
Yes, and that's why the reason we moved the cucumbers from that's why he moved this, is because you got to move your veggies every year. You can't plant the same veggies in the same spots every year. Yeah. Otherwise, they don't thrive.
Yeah. If you fertilize the crap out of them, they do okay, but it's better to rotate.
Yeah, because they just take different things, different nutrients out of the soil.
Yep. So here's the cutterer. Jenny's going to cut that hose over there.
I am.
Yep. I don't want to walk all the way around. It's a long walk. Here, I'll film you from over here. I'll hold the camera. There you go.
Where am I? Just this.
You're gonna cut it right by the T. The T that goes down underneath your bed and then out this way.
Well, this lever here, so I can cut this whole thing.
Yeah, like 6 inches from the lever. 6 inches below the lever.
6 inches like this?
Yeah, just enough to where I can reconnect it if I want.
Okay.
keep going, and it should. There you go. So long as when the bed, long as turn the sprinkler on for a minute, make sure it doesn't gush out of there. But here, take this. Trade me. Go make sure that the water's not gushing out on this side of the tee.
All right.
It'll drip right on your flowers.
Looks good.
All right, guys. So we cut a few feet off because we had some extras, so that's good. Now we can I don't even think we need a clamp on this, but might as well put it on there. We might have to replace all that soaker hose, the black stuff, with this new stuff that we bought because it has little pinholes in it.
Okay.
You know, rather than that, I mean, we'll see. Let's do it.
We'll test it and see where we got to lay more hose.
Yeah, they didn't have any more of that black soaker hose. So we had to buy different stuff by Rainbird or something instead of the Rain something. And I'm probably gonna be better. So anyway, might have you go to the shed or the barn and get the rest of those straps or those stakes. Put back on that shelf where they were originally. All right. Let's go turn it on just for giggles. I think we might need a plug for the end of this line too, but let's see what happens. Even though we don't need the water, we need to. Even though nothing needs the water today or tomorrow or the next day, we need to make sure it's running good.
Yeah. So look at that, guys. Let's go turn it on. Make sure everything's getting adequate water. And then this allows us a little bit of peace of mind and a little bit of freedom. See? Drip, drip, drip. I hear water coming out up here.
You hear all the air hissing out.
I hear the water coming out by my corn. I just learned here in Michigan you want your corn to be like a foot tall by 4th of July. That ain't happening for me. I'll have to maybe plant corn earlier next year if this doesn't grow. It's okay, it's just an experiment. Next year I'll start my corn in the greenhouse a lot earlier. Getting some drips there. And we've got some squash, some Getty Oxum or something that were from Deb. And all our green beans are getting water. How's everything down there? Is it getting water?
So this thing's gonna have to run. So we might have to bring, like, because it needs to run for so long, I might have to charge that battery up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'll go put a test on it while the pump's running and see what the voltage is at.
But yay to a DIY watering system set up quick. It was pretty quick. We did this in about 2 hours.
Couple hours.
And
It'd be really easy if you, like I said, were in the city and you had a well, or if you had a well pump, you know.
yeah, or if you had a smaller garden. People in homes and with yards don't have typically as big of a garden we have.
Yeah.
So they don't need to have it as big as we do. But this was pretty quick and easy, and these are all materials you could probably get on Amazon or your local hardware store, and it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, I probably could have figured it out if he wasn't around or didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and this should just help us secure more water, like not have to use so much water. Like if you were putting it on a sprinkler up in the air, you lose a lot of water.
Yeah.
And it never makes it to the roots. We used to water our garden downstate, and I would leave that sprinkler on for 2 hours, and then you go touch the dirt underneath all the squash, and the water never even made it to the ground, which is crazy.
Yeah, so this is all hitting right at the ground, so it should probably only need to run like 10 to 15 minutes and be really easy and efficient and allow us
right to the base of the plant.
And allow us a little more freedom to do other things instead of spending an hour watering stuff. He can do it when he wants to, but he doesn't have to do it every day.
Oh, it hurts.
So,
all right.
Thanks, guys for tuning in.
And
as always, be sure to like, comment, hype, and if you're new here, subscribe. We appreciate all the free support of our channel.
Best wishes, everybody.
Bye.